Right, so welcome to week 2. This week we're going to be looking at keeping dogs occupied during lockdown. So, for those of you that are working from home, it's a big change for us, let alone the dogs. They have a routine, we go to work, they're used to spending the day on their own. And as much as it's good for us to be there with them, we need to make sure that we're kind of making things as good for them as we can. So, with the headlines in the news suggesting that exercise being cancelled at home for the foreseeable future, it's really important to make sure that we can keep our dogs stimulated and occupied at home during time we might walk them. So hopefully this unit will help you with that, and actually just moving forward even after lockdown, there should be some really useful things in here for you that you can continue to do with them and keep them occupied and satisfied as we go forward after lockdown. So we're going to look at a couple of things, a few of which we may have already covered in class, but I know there's a few people in here that have done one-to-ones and things. So we're going to look at ditch the bowl, and then we'll kind of move forward looking at some scent work activities, dog parkour on walks, trick training, and some confidence activities for you to look through as well. So first section is about ditching the bowl. Ditch the bowl might sound a little bit extreme, but this is a concept that you can embrace as much or as little as you like. Your dog has a guideline daily amount of food, and by taking that food and using it directly with your dogs rather than putting it in a bowl for them, not only does it increase their value in you, and therefore making training easier, it also helps to keep their brains occupied. And as I'm sure a lot of you can understand right now, boredom and understimulation does not lead to happy, healthy behaviours. Generally destructive behaviours come from boredom. So how can we ditch the bowl with our dogs? You can use part of their daily food allowance for training. So by taking food on walks, it's a really easy way to promote engagement and orientation with you. It can help create a super focused dog. If you've already been to class, you'll know there are lots of games and activities you can be practicing on walks to enhance this further. And if not, we'll certainly be covering them as we move throughout the course. Calming natural chews. So as you can see, there's a picture here of Morph, and he's got a dried fish skin there when he was a puppy. So these are long-lasting natural chews and are a great way to promote calmness levels in dogs, especially when they're having to spend greater amounts of time in the house. Chewing is a great stress relief for dogs, and their stress levels, as I say, may be higher currently due to change of routine, less walking, higher levels of boredom, etc. Destructive behaviours, especially in dogs that aren't puppies, generally is down to boredom. Stuffed toys. So as you can see here, there's a freezer drawer full of stuffed Kongs. These again promote calmness and are great for bringing arousal levels back down, whether this is after a reactivity episode or if you're out walking and they've had a really fun, action-packed and stimulating walk. These are a great thing to give them to calm them down after. Or perhaps, if you're at home and you're expecting a shopping delivery, perhaps you can give your dog one of these on a boundary whilst the shopping is being delivered. Snuffle mats or scatter feeding. So you can see here there's a picture of Flynn with a snuffle mat, and then Shay there has got a snuffle ball. So anyone who's been to class will know how much I love using scatter feeding. It's an amazing way to promote positive mental well-being in your dog, to reduce arousal levels and to keep dogs occupied for a period of time. You can scatter feed on walks as well if you feel the need to reduce your dog's arousal levels. So if you're one of our lovable Rogue members and they've just kind of had a reactive episode, scatter feeding is a great thing to do with them after to help calm them down. Slow feeders and puzzle bowls. I know a lot of you use these, especially if you've got dogs that are a little bit greedy. It's a really good way to slow them down eating. If you don't give them to your dog all the time, they also provide a bit of challenge for them. It's just something for your dog to be doing. And lastly, puzzle toys. So these toys are really good aid for cognitive development. They're really great for keeping your dog stimulated, and it provides them with a really good mental workout. You don't have to go and spend lots of money on expensive puzzle toys. You could fill a shoebox with empty toilet rolls and hide the treats in them. I've also seen people online using like muffin tins and tennis balls, putting the food around it, or bottles or balls in a paddling pool. You can see a picture here, which we'll go on to later, with the dog kind of searching through cardboard boxes for food and things. So it's really good way for your dog to kind of be able to problem solve and to build their confidence as well. And the last one is frozen dog chews. So I know over the weekend the weather was lovely. We might often kind of, when it's warm, give our dogs an ice cube on a hot day, but you could kind of be a little bit more adventurous with that. You know, freeze things like frozen fruit and vegetables into ice cube trays, or kind of chicken or beef broth, or fruit juices, as long as they haven't got a lot of sugar in, or yogurts and things. So you can be quite creative. I know when it's really hot, they suggest not to give your dog frozen things. It can kind of make them hotter because they're trying to warm up with the cold ice cube. But during kind of, you know, like it was over the weekend, just mild and frozen stuff is fine. So next thing we're going to look at is scent work activities. So did you know that it is estimated that around 30% of the dog's brain is dedicated to analysing odours and smells? So this is around 40 times larger than that of a human. So if you create an analogy of that to vision, if we could see something at a third of a mile, the dog would still be able to clearly see it 3,000 miles away. So that's almost as far as it is from here to New York. So if you imagine a beach that's 1,500 foot long by 150 foot wide and 40 inches deep, a dog could find 2 grains of sand that smell differently. So dogs are really amazing when it comes to scent. They can be trained to smell out cancers, to sense kind of fits, and even to wake up sufferers of PTSD from night terrors, as well as many other amazing things. There are many benefits to both you and your dog by carrying out scent work activities. Whilst many dogs get enough physical exercise and hopefully training in all of your cases as you're on the course, many don't get enough stimulation of their innate senses. So nose work is an innate sense. It's something that they're born to do. Nose work requires calm concentration and involves stimulation of several of the dog's innate abilities. Benefits from that to you as owners include improved cooperation from the dog, strengthened relationship, improved training results in other areas, and increased calmness levels in the dogs, and a greater level of satisfaction for them. So a lot of the time when I work with reactive dogs, it's just that they're not getting enough breed specific activities in. So by that I mean, you know, spaniels not doing spaniely things, collies not being able to have an outlet for all that intelligence that they have. So scent work is good for any dog. Obviously there are going to be some breeds that are better at it and in a better kind of predisposition before you start, but that doesn't mean that there are some breeds that can't do it. All dogs can do scent work. When you first start scent work with your dog, it's really important to remember that although they have this like kind of amazing superpower as such, that whilst it is untrained, they will get nose tired very quickly. So although the dog will want to keep training and keep going, it's because it's naturally rewarding to the dog. So it's really important to keep these sessions short to start with. So I've filmed one activity for you to do with your dog this week. Although throughout the 9-week course, we will have an entire unit on scent work. So I've taken this activity from a book, and I will post pictures of the pages in the comments box below for you to have a read through. So I've kind of done this before, and this is actually the first time we've done this. So this is kind of first go on our training. So when you start this exercise for the first time, you're going to have your dog on a lead, regardless as to whether you're inside or outside. And you're not going to give your dog any cues initially. You're just going to place the food on the floor, no further than 3 or 4 feet away, just a couple of bits with your dog looking so that he can see where to go. As soon as the treats land, you're going to let your dog go and find them, and then when he does find them, praise them and call your dog back as he finds the last piece of food. When you feel like you're ready to move on to the next level, you're going to toss 2 or 3 treats immediately after each other, but one at a time. And again, making sure that the dog is watching and the treats land pretty close to each other. And again, let the dog go run, find, eat the treats, and then call the dog back when they find the last one.
Yes, good. Move. Good.
As you go through the levels, you can start to increase the amount of treats that you throw, and increase the distance between you and the treats. You're going to continue to release the dog without any cue, and you're going to do this kind of 2 or 3 times. Shay is in the background, I do apologise, he wanted to join in.
Oh. Move.
So as you move through the stages, you can start to introduce a cue. So I've used Find It with Morph, just because when I've done it with Flynn, I've used Find It. So I just like to try and keep all my cues the same between the dogs. And you're going to say it just as you go to release your dog. And then whilst they're out sniffing and searching, you can continue to say it until they find the last piece.
Find it. Good boy. Good boy. Find it. Find it. Yes. Move. Nice.
As you go through, you can throw a few more treats each time, get them working a little bit harder, and keep using that cue that you started to introduce.
Good boy. Good boy. Find it. Find it. Good boy. Find it. Find it. Find it. Find it. Yes, good. Woof.
So this last stage that we've moved on to, you can start to increase the size of the search area, and instead of throwing the treats where your dog can see them, if they've got a good sit and stay, you can get them to do that whilst you hide the food, and then go back to them and release them again with your cue to find it. So that was our scent work bit. And as I said, we're going to, as we go through the 9-week course, I'm going to introduce some more scent work activities for you. But this is just a nice, easy, basic one for you to get started with. And as I say, I'll put the pages in the comments below if you need a bit of a reminder, or if you want to, screenshot them, you can save them to your phone so you can do it out and about. So the next one, and this I think is my favourite bit of this unit, is dog parkour. And this is only something I've just started doing with my dogs on walks, but dog parkour combines elements of human parkour and dog agility to create an accessible activity for dogs and humans alike. Dogs get introduced to the world of jumping, climbing, balancing over, crawling under, and going around different obstacles in their everyday world. Parkour can be done anywhere and is limited only by your imagination. Dog parkour can help with confidence and overcoming fears, and it is a low impact but challenging activity for any canine athlete. So there are many benefits of parkour, including fitness for your dog, confidence building, problem solving, mental stimulation, and more. Positive side effect for owners is that you should find your dog is more engaged on walks. They're much calmer and more settled after their walks. And if you've got Instagram, you can get some great photos as well. It's also, I find it's really nice and fun way to do some training on walks, rather than just practicing lead walking. Really cool. And there's actually a website you can see there, dogparkour.org, and there's loads of different activities on there that you can access for free, and it gives you all the instructions. So this is just a few that I've practiced with Shay and Flynn out on our walk. So this is Shay. This also combines a little bit of boundary games as well with this one.
Good lad. Yeah, clever boy.
That was his little activity. We did manage to do a little bit of agility with Flynn.
Good boy.
And then lastly, a bit of 2 feet on with Shay.
Nice.
So as you can see, it doesn't cost anything, you don't have to buy anything, but it's just really nice, fun stuff that you can be doing on walks at the moment. Or, in your garden or anything, you can use, again, like cardboard boxes and things. If we do get restricted to the home, this is still something that you can be doing with them. Trick training. So trick training is a great way to build a bond and relationship with your dog, using positive reinforcement and force-free methods. If you can use shaping methods that we discussed last week, it's a great way to get your dogs thinking and problem solving, and thus in turn, when they get it right, it's a massive confidence boost for them. Whilst doing my research for this unit, I saw a quote which I loved, and it read, "If you aren't having fun, you aren't doing it correctly." Everything you learn about in this unit should be fun for both you and the dog, and I believe it's really important for the dogs to enjoy training for them to get the most from it, and therefore make your training sessions efficient and effective. Positive reinforcement training methods strengthen and enhance the relationship between you and your dog as you work collaboratively towards a mutual goal and an encouraging stress-free and fear-free environment. The dog participates in the learning process with a positive attitude and enjoys working and interacting with you as their trainer. By using positive training techniques, you raise a dog who is confident, communicative, and eager to please. So I've found 2 kind of really great places that you can learn to trick train. One of them is a book called Teach My Dog to Do That, and it's actually written by Jo Rosie Huffenden and Nando Brown, who own and run the School of Canine Science. So there was a quote at the beginning of this book, and I really liked it, and I put it at the top of the page here, which says, "Trick training can often be seen as an optional extra. However, the process of trick training can open up a whole new window with your dog, whatever their age or breed. By trick training, you can end up with a more stimulated, happier dog and a deeper and more fulfilling relationship with them." So I've put a few ideas on here for you. So I've got one of my dogs, and I've nicked a couple of tricks from you guys. So this is Morph, which was quite hard to film on my own, but he's doing a spin.
Spin. Yeah, good. Spin.
And as you can see, he's not perfect, but that's okay.
Spin. Yeah, good boy.
I want him to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy it, so I'm not too bothered if he makes a mistake every now and then. In here, we have Laddie doing his play dead, which I think is one of my favourites, and certainly well done to Sharon for teaching in that. And then last of all, we have Walter with his middle or legs.
Walter, legs. Good. Good legs. Good. Break. Good boy. Good.
So as I say, for more kind of ways of trick training, or if you want some ideas, there's a really good website you can check out called domorewithyouردog.com, and there's loads. There is a small cost to it, you have to sign up, but there's loads of trick training and ideas on there, or you can buy the book off Amazon, Teach My Dog to Do That, and there's some really nice ideas and things for you to do in there. And lastly, confidence activities. So confidence is king for all dogs, but more importantly for our lovable rogues and new puppies, it's really important to keep those confidence levels high. You might be wondering why your dog needs to be confident or optimistic. The confidence level of a dog determines how they perceive new or novel situations. For example, they may react to a new dog, or dog giving ambiguous signals may affect how they react to new people, how they react to new objects, etc. Everything in your dog's world could be good or bad, friendly or scary, depending on their confidence and optimism levels. Whatever you feel your dog's confidence levels are, it's something that will ebb, flow, and change throughout their lives. Therefore, it's something that I would continue to work on throughout their lives. Sometimes the dogs that appear to be the most confident are actually quite anxious. Unlike us humans, who will actively avoid situations that we're unsure of, dogs will need to go and investigate. Therefore, by building your dog's confidence and optimism levels, you may find that as a nice side effect, their recall and loose lead walking skills will actually improve. And if you look in the files section of this Facebook group, you should find that there is a PDF called Optimism Rocks in there, and there's loads of different activities you can do. So there's a few pictures here. So building water confidence with Morph. So we kind of did boundary games with him with that. So if he actively kind of chose to get in the water, I rewarded him, but he could get in and out as he pleased. And as you can see, he had quite a nice time doing that. I've got some pictures here from our puppy workshop that we did. So we've got Puppy going over different surfaces. So it would have made different sounds, different feels and things. We've got Puppy on cardboard boxes, just kind of learning that when things move and make noises, it's okay. Another puppy here going through a tunnel. Again, all just building confidence. If your dog's happy to do this, they're going to be happier to do lots of things in life. And then the last one is what we call a noise box. So you could do this at home if you've got an empty cardboard box and some tin cans or something. Obviously make sure that they're safe, but pop the cans in the box, scatter some food in, and let your dog kind of get in and explore around all the different noises and scents and things. It's really important with these confidence activities, well, with all the stuff in this unit, but especially the confidence building, it needs to be the dog's choice. So they need to decide to get in and out of the water or in and out of the tunnel and that kind of stuff. If you force your dog to do any of this, you're going to significantly reduce their confidence levels rather than improving them. So week 2 challenge for keeping your dogs occupied in lockdown. The aim of this week's unit is to improve the quality of life for your dog, not only throughout lockdown, but continually moving forward. So therefore, your challenge for this week is to ditch the bowl at least once a day. Use that food for either scent work, parkour, trick training, or confidence activities. So you've got a week to do this. So deadline is next Sunday. And I want you to post your videos with any feedback or anything that you've noticed or particularly enjoyed into the Facebook group. And as I say, there will be a prize at the end of this course for the most improved dog and most improved handler. Any questions, do let me know. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to seeing your videos. It's been really nice seeing them this week, and it's been really nice kind of participation in the group. So do keep that going. I've really enjoyed it. Good luck.